I remember back in the, earlier part of this decade, Apple used to have these commercials when the smartphone first came out, and it was all about the App Store. And they would say, you want to do this? There's an app for that. You want to do the other thing? There's an app for that. And they even registered a trademark for the phrase, there's an app for that. And I started taking that phrase and I twisted it a little bit, and I started wondering, I wonder if there's an AI app for that. And I shifted my mindset. Whenever I would come up with a task that was repetitive and I didn't want to have to do it anymore, I would start to ask myself, is there an AI app for that? And I would start my search. And so over the past 3 years, I've done a lot of experiments in this, and I looked at how I might find AI applications to assist me in my work in all of these different areas, from navigation to transcription to building web pages to improving my focus to bookkeeping. And so this is the thought process that I used. It was systematic. I mean, at first it was kind of, just a wild experiment, but then I started to systematize it over time. And really, this is how it kind of flowed. First, I identify what is the business problem I'm trying to solve. And typically it's a very repeatable process. And then I ask myself, is this something that I should be working on? It's a quick ROI study. Should I be spending time on this? Does it make sense for me to continue doing it? Should I get a person to do it? Is this something that I could automate? And if I did automate, would it help me to save time, improve productivity or quality, or allow me to focus on other more important things? And then I would ask my question, is there an AI app for that? And I would start my search. And if I find something, then I would actually start to experiment with it and do very quick experiments, applying it in my workflow to see how it worked out for me. And one of the things, when you're doing experiments like this, you have to realize it's an experiment. Not every experiment ends in a decision to continue. So that's a part of my process as well. Is this something I want to continue? Is this something I want to keep? I do an impact analysis to determine, how would this fit into my workflow? Is it worth it? If there's a fee to it, does that fee offset the value that I'm getting from using this in my process? And then I decide if I want to keep it or not. The other thing to think about as well, if you decide to continue, is what sort of habits do I need to develop to be able to take advantage of this? Because we see stories all the time of companies that bring on awesome technology. They don't get the benefit from it because there's no adoption. So I have to think through my own adoption of the technology and how I'm going to work that into my daily business life. So that's how I was thinking about it. And I'm going to share with you 7 experiments that I did over the past couple of years.